Do you think you came out of nursing school ready to be a nurse, or did you think you needed a lot of guidance?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I don't think any nurse is ever no. I don't think any nurse is ever going to come out of nursing school fully prepared. I think the most important thing is having a preceptor that you trust. Because we have a huge issue like in nursing to begin with, where they say that nurses eat our young. And it's like, it's crazy.
Is that a real saying?
That is a real thing.
What does that mean?
Real thing. It's like when nurses come in, it's almost like, I don't want to say hazing, but it's like they go after these nurses. They're not welcoming. They're not, they just treat nurses very bad. Like we even, at every hospital that I've been at.
Who's they? You're not talking about us, right?
No, I'm talking about nurses. Nurses versus nurses.
Okay.
So in my situation, in any hospital that I've ever been to, I've always had to do training based on like accepting nurses and like welcoming them in. Because like I've personally, like when I was first a nurse, the people who precepted me were very, very hard on me. Very, very hard. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be hard to an extent, right? Because this is literally life and death. You need to know what you're doing. You need to have a clear-cut plan. But when it just comes into like welcoming somebody into the nurse's lounge and like creating, like facilitating this area of acceptance, I don't think nurses are very good at it. And I think that we're kind of making a move like to get better at it. But yeah, like when I precept a new nurse, I want you to be able to come to me and ask me a question, because I'd much rather you ask me the question and we get it right versus you being scared to ask questions. And that's a problem that is huge in the nursing community, like huge. Okay.
So more constructive, less abusive work environment.
Yes, definitely.
I feel like we have something similar in residency training. It's obviously specialty driven, so in some specialties it's worse than others. But I think we're also trying to like make it a better work environment. I've also experienced very different nursing departments based on the geography of where I've worked. Because I've actually worked in family medicine departments all across the US. And working in an internal medicine floor in Coney Island Hospital, inner city Brooklyn, versus a community hospital in New Jersey, it's night and day. Like in Coney Island, the nurses were like cursing the residents out or calling them dumb right to their faces by calling them by their first name, versus in New Jersey, it's like, doctor, how can I be help? Like, are you sure you're doing this right? Like, it's just a completely different way of approaching residents. And I don't know like where that comes from. Is it because they're more busy? Is it because that specific hospital had that type of environment? I don't know. Have you seen that?
Definitely, especially with a lot of the hospitals that I've worked at have been teaching hospitals, so we get like new waves of residents in quite often. And I always go out of my way to make sure that they know that like I'm the nurse that you can come to, because I love to teach. I love people to feel comfortable coming to me with their questions and stuff like that, because I didn't have that when I was a new nurse. So I make an effort to be there for them. And yes, depending on the hospital, and I feel like a lot of that is like the culture of the hospital to begin with, because you can have like a few angry people and it will just like tarnish the entire mood of the area.
For sure.
And then not only that too, like when you're dealing with something that's very high stakes, like I'm sure that there are several people's like anxiety levels at different ways. And like the more you've dealt with it, the less anxiety you're going to have. So the less like people are like at risk to like snap at somebody. But I've definitely seen, like even with the nurses, they'll snap and be like, what's wrong with you? Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And like, why are you doing this? And why are you not doing that? Instead of like having a conversation and be like, what's your mindset behind this? Or, like having like a one-on-one conversation. I've definitely seen hospitals where they will like bite your head off. And then other hospitals where it's like, usually I feel like you can test the waters and see like who you can talk to and who's easier for you to go to, and just be like, hey, like, listen, I haven't performed this. Or like whenever I would help residents like learn how to do like IVs and stuff like that, it's like, like, let's walk it through it. Like, let's go on. Like, and then they're more apt to come to you. And then like when they eventually turn into like you're attending and stuff like that, it's like, you remember me? I was there from the beginning.
No, that's true. I've also made it a personal mission of mine of whoever was labeled, quote unquote, the mean nurse or the difficult nurse to work with, to become extra friendly with them, but not in like a suck up to them way, but almost, that game high status, low status?
Yeah.
So like really show them that I'm submissive to their knowledge and their experience. So I remember in Coney Island Hospital when I was a third-year med student, I was looking to get better with IVs and starting or doing ABGs on patients. And I would try on like one patient, let's say a few times, but I was really already like destroying their arm. So I would have to go to this nurse and ask her for help, and she would literally hear me but not respond. And then when I would ask it again, she would say something rude under her breath. And a lot of doctors or students would get really upset by it. But I was like, look, I understand I'm being annoying right now. You have a million other things to do. But like, I'm not great at this and I want to get better. And like, I ended up winning those people over. And then those actually turned out to be the most fruitful relationships, because those people are the ones who are most protective of their patients and who are the ones that do have the most experience to share. So I feel like going that extra way and being okay with being below them actually went a long way. I don't know. Have you seen that happen too?
Oh, definitely. Like we definitely have people that we know like on the unit that are known as being like the older nurse, and they do definitely get snappy at times. And like I see it from their perspective as well, because when I have a ton of labs and stuff like that I have to do, and then I have like time sensitive things like blood cultures and stuff like that I have to get in, and then I can't start my antibiotic until I have my cultures done, and like all this stuff, and all this stuff is like running through a nurse's mind, and it's like not just this patient, it's all your patients, you know, and then you're going to get new ones in, and then you're like keeping a special eye on one of them, you know, and so like a lot of that comes down to, you know, I think there's definitely a lot going on, but the way that I try to think about it is like I know that you're trying to better yourself, and like at the end of the day, like we're on the same team here, like we're both here to save a life, we're both here to help somebody.